How do we recognize hypocrisy in others? Well, we shouldn't. Always give others the benefit of the doubt. But don't give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Look, try and become your own heart surgeon. Try and take a scalpel in your hand and cut open your heart to see what is actually going on in there. Little clumps of darkness, little coagulations, blood clots, accumulations clogging the arteries. We all have heart disease. And so he says, alayhi salatu wasalam, that there are ways in which we can self-diagnose. We need to do this. Who doesn't want to know the state of his own physical heart? But more important still is the state of the heart, which will remain with us uncorrupted in the grave and for eternity. We need to look into that heart. Every one of us, particularly those of us who think we don't really need to. And so he says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that there's certain outward signs of this inward sickness. We can take the pulse of the heart. We can listen carefully. We can rig ourselves up to the prophetic cardiogram and see what's going on. So he says, alayhi salatu wasalam, in a number of hadith, that there are 4 qualities. And if you have all 4 of them, then you're a munafiq. Beware. Nobody in the world, believing or unbelieving, respects the person who is inwardly not what he outwardly says he is. Every culture despises that two-tongued person. But how can we recognize this? Here is the prophetic prescription, the diagnosis, and he's saying, go and consider this, apply it. When he speaks, he tells lies. And when he promises, he ends up breaking his promises. And when he gets into a dispute, he goes beyond the bounds. And when he is in a pledge or a contract, he betrays that. So let's just look at what the ulama have to say about these 4 qualities. And I will consider them, and inshallah we will all consider them, and we will teach our children this brilliance of prophetic psychology. Telling lies, sidq, truthfulness, is what the Lord does. Sadaqa wa'dahu. He cannot tell lies. And he says, كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. It is a great crime, a great horror in the sight of Allah that you say what you do not do. Oh yes, brother, I pray 5 times a day, and yes, brother, I've done this, and yes, brother, I'm supporting X, Y, Z. A straightforward lie in this respect is in the sight of Allah something very grave. But other lies also are reprehensible, even those which are not lying directly about our religious state, because they indicate a weakness in our hearts, a desire for other people to think well of us, when we should only desire the rida, the satisfaction of the Lord of the worlds. The opinion of others does not matter. If you live a humble and decent Muslim life, you should not care what others are saying, but you should care very much what is the opinion of the Lord of the worlds, because on the day of judgment nobody is going to be judging you. They will all be saying nafsi, nafsi, and all of those assessments will be gone except the unblinking eye of Rabb al-Alameen. It is his opinion of you that matters alone. What other people think, even if you have to say something that hurts and makes you look dishonorable, never mind, say it. Kunu ma'as sadiqeen, be amongst those who are truthful. So that is the first. And then the second of these notes in the prophetic diagnosis, إِذَا وَعَدَ أَخْلَفَ. When he makes promises, he doesn't actually fulfill that promise. Now there's 2 kinds of this, the ulama say. The first is to promise something while knowing that one does not intend to carry it through. That's obviously a form of hypocrisy and a form of lying. But the other is to promise something and then later on not to follow it through for whatever reason. So the Holy Prophet says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in a hadith in Ibn Mas'ud, لا يعد أحدكم صبيه ثم لا ينجزه له. Holy Prophet says, don't make promises even to your children that you are not going to bring about. Don't say, I'll take you on holiday to such and such an entertainment park if only you stop fighting in the back of the car. No, if you make that promise, even to your children, you have to fulfill that promise. And this is the Holy Prophet's directive. Children also have the right not to be lied to. The believer is the one who fulfills his promises, who follows the prophetic commandment, تَخَلَّقُوا بِأَخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ. Follow the values which Allah Himself examples, and He is the one who has said, صَدَقَ وَعْدَهُ. He fulfills His promise. He promised, لَتَدْخُلُنَّ الْمَسْجِدَ الْحَرَامِ. You shall certainly enter the sacrosanct mosque on that glorious day. Be like Him. Adopt His virtues. He is merciful, be merciful. He is just, be just. He is forgiving, be forgiving. This is the meaning of this extraordinary hadith. Emulate the character traits of the divine. So be also amongst the sadiqeen, amongst those who are people of sidq. The third, إِذَا خَاصَمَ فَجَرَ. When you're in a dispute, and disputatiousness is disliked in Islam. 2 people who maybe have only been practicing Islam for a few months arguing in the mosque. No, brother, there's 4 rak'ahs of sunnah after Maghrib. No, my shaykh, this is all of this, astaghfirullah, and they don't know anything. The Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam says, إِنَّ أَبْغَضَ الرِّجَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ الْأَلَدُّ الْخَصِمِ. The people Allah dislikes most are those who are really argumentative, stubbornly very argumentative, particularly in sacred places and particularly on the Hajj. Why does Allah say, فَلَا رَفَثَ وَلَا فُسُوقَ وَلَا جِدَالَ فِي الْحَجِّ? No obscene talk and no arguments on the Hajj. No, oh, turn up the air cooler, oh, turn it down, let's go for the Jamarat now. No, let's go, let all of this wrong, bad, quiet, submit. As long as you get your obligations done, don't argue with anybody. This argument is for the Hajjis, but it is for us also. So when we argue, if we have to argue, if we find ourselves in an argument, perhaps with our landlord or in some dunya thing, do not tell lies, do not go beyond the bounds. When anger is flaring up, do not allow that anger to take you out of the truth. And the fourth that we want to look at from this beautiful prophetic diagnosis, إِذَا عَاهَدَ غَدَرَ, when he makes a pledge, he betrays it. A hadith in Bukhari and Muslim from Ibn Umar has the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, لِكُلِّ غَادِرٍ لِوَاءٌ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُعْرَفُ بِهَا. Everyone who broke his pledges will have a flag which he will be waving on the Day of Judgment. One day those things will be made clear. يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ. On that day all of our secrets will be made plain. So don't think that you've ever successfully hidden something from the gaze of others, let alone from Rabb al-Alameen. Everything one day will be revealed in your nakedness, in our weakness, the dark spots in our heart, the consequences of our insincerity. One day everything will be unveiled and revealed and we will stand ashamed. So we wave this flag, those who had pledges and didn't fulfill them. One aspect of this is returning things held in trust. Even a simple thing, you borrow a book from somebody, you have to return it. It's an amana. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تُؤَدُّوا الْأَمَانَاتِ إِلَى أَهْلِهَا. The Quran says Allah commands you to return things you hold in trust back to those who own them. We should regularly do this with our property. And if we see something, oh, that actually belongs to so-and-so and I haven't returned it to him yet, that should be your first concern. And this is one of the signs of sidq. And when the Muslims as a community become known for this, people of amana, then they are walking in the footsteps of the one who is called as-sadiq, the truthful one, not the munafiq, al-amin, the one who is trustworthy.